All right, so from somebody that believes in the concept of a male being a chauvinist, I would like to know, anybody give me comments, feedback. Let's go ahead and start the healing process. If we have to go through things and survive emotional downfalls and emotional declines and all that, let's go ahead and try to make the world a better place as much as we can. So any men, anybody, um, do you really appreciate a woman? Let's say you're in an environment and you do develop a natural chauvinistic mentality where, like being from a ghetto environment where things aren't really traditionally, did properly and, on a consistent basis, there could be, unlaw abiding citizens and things of that nature. In the ghetto, you know, sometimes things are predictable, and then on the contrary, sometimes things aren't predictable. You just never know. But most people dive in head first and expect, to die, in every aspect of the word. Um, for the baby daddies or the men that have interacted with women that have had babies for them, how did you learn to appreciate womanhood coming from um, an environment where you may have been taught to develop a misogynistic way of thinking? Once they have kids for you, it's kind of fucked up that it may take that, but do you grasp on a sense of strengthfulness when it comes to women? Do you view a woman as something that is your rock? There's a song called "She Is My Rock." I actually wrote that song, but are you really, contemplating uh suicide with the idea of chauvinism? Do you really, once you get a certain amount of time of consistent loyalty, can you really appreciate the value of a woman? I mean, you might be one particular woman, you might not appreciate every woman, but you appreciate womanhood in the aspect that, dang, this girl really carried a baby for me for 9 months, and it really looked like me and her. Do you really grasp the strengthfulness about womanhood? Because even as a woman, I view myself as a chauvinist in reverse psychology, and I think that there's a lot of things that I must do to prove the strength of womanhood, because I've had experiences to where I felt, made me belittle my womanhood because of men, and I wish I didn't form that paradigm in my head, because it really is a mind game. It really is an emotional downfall for me, and I don't want to sit here and compare myself to a bunch of men for no reason. You know what I'm saying? It's just stupid. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that we grew up getting tamed by a man and we had to be taught lessons, unethical lessons, just ridiculous lessons living in the ghetto, that we're gonna have to survive this and that and the third. There are males in your family that'll be like, I've been locked up with some pretty crazy guys, and you're going to have to endure this type of drama in your life. A lot of time movies and stuff are exposing the drama and the reality of dysfunctionality in certain places, and we learn from them. Sometimes going to a movie is not about just watching a movie and having fun with a significant other or your family. It's really a lesson, a moral, morality behind it. So just understand there's some, not morality, but there's really a lesson. How they say the moral of the story. There's really a lesson behind it. Understand that this type of behavior is normalized. It's an idea, and somewhere on this earth, somebody is experiencing chauvinism. Once you understand behavioral misogynistic behavior, you cannot be receptive of a certain identity when it comes to men. You see what I'm saying? So, what would make you form that opinion of the way a male will act? Because every woman does not have the attitude. I'm very certain that this world has lots of people. It's very populated, and there are places where you can go where you will not experience this type of behavior. And if you are operating this type of behavior, it can be negotiated and so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? because the environment that most people, when they say they're from the ghetto, it seems like you have to earn a man's respect. Show me that you're more than just an orgasm you had with me. Because what the men have told me is, after seeing a woman experience an orgasm, I am viewing you as a weak vessel. So prove to me otherwise by doing push-ups, by doing this, by doing that. We as women do not be being viewed as weak. I think that's why we out here dyking too, because we have been hurt in that aspect when it comes to our womanhood in reference to manhood. You know what I'm saying? If you grow up getting too belittled by men, you probably will dive into the homosexual lifestyle, and in just so many other avenues to, once you learn more things, your mind has to you have to talk your mind into being optimist. That's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It's clear as day. It's a lot of things about life that are going to annoy you, but you have to deal with them. Emotional declines. A lot of people take losses before they're ready to deal with them. Like my little sister's dad. And like the fact that I know someone that lost their parents at a very young age is the reason why I'm emotionally fucked up too. Because I'm like, I'm going to be so lonely if my mom and my dad leave here. I will feel empty. I'm going to experience an emotional decline. I've always grown up, like when I was a kid, I really grew up in an environment where I felt like I had to practice dying. And I'm like, no matter how much I think about it, my heart still beats fast for stuff like that. I'm really like trying to mentally prepare for something that's going to happen regardless if I like it or not. So I really, think that at some point, these songs that I said are meaningless, really do have a lot of meaning behind them. And I guess if you go to a rap concert and you see people pray and stuff before they go on stage, that's what it's about. Because some people will belittle you. Some people will say you don't got nothing to talk about, your hood is not worse than my hood. And so to see all the views that a lot of these songs like Quicksand got on YouTube, it just shows that there really are a lot of people growing up in a ghetto area and they're taking losses because of this, because of that. I regret my life as a woman because men are getting way more acknowledgement and way more uplifted than women. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get somebody to sympathize with me as a dyke. See what I'm saying? Somebody name your child after me or something. Because I'm like, if I was a man, a lot of those men I'm like, it's easily for you to say it than done, but I would have just submitted. That's what they would have said. But you're not being viewed as a woman and you're not a woman. So it's easy for you to say that when you got a bunch of hoes sitting here cementing you, giving you babies and everything, and you showing loyalty toward them. So, you can just tell by the way some women move. I guess that's where the butch mentality comes from. They're trying to build masculine credentials, that you're born in an environment where you need a man's approval. Or not. However you want to look at it. A lot of people are going to be slowed down in life because of that. But I would think if a woman's role is to be taken care of by a male, and we got the butch femme dynamic, go ahead and let these women that are lesbians play whatever role they want to play. You see what I'm saying? Because if a woman don't have a child, she clearly is a dyke. You know what I'm saying? Or she clearly, really can't be set, doesn't have the potential to satisfy a feminine role for a man like they would like to. She got too much baggage. I would never waste a man's time. But then, like I'm saying, you build enough intellectual credibility, you can get over half the shit you've been through. I know, because I gain so much confidence from reading and just waking up every day and do something small, a couple of push-ups. You can't change the fate of your life. You can't change what happens to you. You may be put in positions where people may be more emotionally inclined to you. I don't need to take that shit to the heart. because a lot of people don't have the experiences that I have. A lot of people don't grow up feeling unprotected by men and stuff like that. So some people really do have people that they grow up around, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll be around my cousins and they'll be like, let me put you on to a hold this and hold that, but I ain't finna sit here and act like I'm cool with them because I don't.